What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray. And this right here is Gray Area Anime. Back with another one. As always, in the building is the executive producer, Prima Diva. And
really?
the mute off
Really?
the
You ain't let me go ahead and do it. You muted me before I could even say something.
What are you talking? There was no such. The mute gods.
No, there was no mute
Mute
gods.
Sama
I
did
was
that.
totally ready with something
Kami
cute
Mute Sama.
and available, and you're such a hater. I think the mute button, you know what, viewers or listeners, I think this mute button should be communal. I think we should both have access to it, and I think you guys should vote on it. I don't think it's right that I think it's a very
I like it when your thoughts
sexist,
are trampled over. Huh?
old world practice that
Yeah.
the man gets to totally mute the woman. See, sexism, sexism.
You know what?
You know, there's supposed to be equality in marriage. Didn't people fight for that marriage equality? I'm joking. I'm kidding, guys. Okay, was once not enough? Don't.
No.
This is why.
But y'all know we back with some more. Return by season 2. ReZero season 2, obviously. I believe this to be episode 30. Is it episode 30? It's episode 30.
I mean, it's right there. It says episode 33.
Nope, that would be Naruto, and that says 133.
Oh, yeah, that is. Hold on 1 second.
So, one of us has glasses on, the other does not.
Because I wasn't looking, yes.
And, wow. Oh. No, it actually says.
I just wanted to have your back out here with correct information in case it was incorrect. Ain't nobody just trying to be proving you wrong.
Episode 30, a step forward.
Instead of backward. I ain't come here for that.
You're going to come here for this mute button. Keep on.
Boy.
Yeah, this episode, I'm not going to say I wasn't a fan, but I got to reread because it feels like they mixing a whole lot of stuff up. It feels like they're rushing stuff. And I can't confirm or deny it just because I haven't read in a while. And so I want to reaffirm some things and kind of see where they're going with the story.
And to clarify, the reason we haven't read this particular part in a while is because Arc 4 is extremely long. It's very, very long. So it took us a long time to actually get through it. Even Icarus with his, lightning speed reading habits. So yeah, it's been a while since we've seen it, but there have been some glaring differences.
Well, we also were reading one place, and then that one place went to discover life and live life, and then
never came back. It was so sad. I mean, I understand,
but moving on. And then I was very averse to the new place. I don't know.
I found the new place too because I was really hungry for this, guys. I was really hungry for more information. I was like, it can't be over.
Share things, but most times she just goes on by herself.
Lies.
Okay, you found the site and we're already reading. I've already read this much.
I wanted to make sure it was working.
Nah, no one needs to hear you right now.
Muted. You meanie.
Quickly. Anyway, but basically what we're saying about this episode is there's a lot going on that kind of seems out of place. Some things kind of seem rushed, or they're probably trimming the fat. So a lot of things that we enjoyed or were excited to see, they're trimming. But we'll get into the meat of the episode now. So at the end of the last episode, Subaru has completed the first trial. He said goodbye to his parents. He walks into a classroom. He sees Ekidana, and they begin to have a conversation at the start of this episode. She's like, this was a trial and your parents weren't real, it was all a recreation. They didn't really say those things. They don't really feel those things. They weren't really here. And, Subaru quickly rejects it, like, no. Well, actually, the first thing he says is similar to the first thing I said to my wife. Upon meeting her, was he said something, "You look nice in a school uniform." I said something of that ilk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in that
all
range,
right.
just
all
a
right.
little bit more spicy. Anyway.
Anyway.
The look. But so they're really having a conversation. Like, she's still trying to intimidate him in a way of, that wasn't really your past. But okay,
and I just want to say she's not, when you say intimidate, the reality, and I hope you guys saw this too, and I loved it so much, is just that her witchy behavior. You know how you saw a glimpse of it a couple episodes back when they were having the tea party for the first time? You were like, man, she might have some evil intent here.
Mm-hmm.
Here. You really get it. It's really nice.
Not yet.
No, I mean, as she's starting to taunt him, as she's starting to say things about his parents, it's like slowly starting to.
But at this point, everybody has the same goal, and it's not as bad as it is later.
I'm just talking about for where we are right now. I'm not talking about anything else. Right now, where we are.
No, that's what I'm saying. Right where we are,
it's very like the witchiness aspect and how and how sadistic she is, and it really comes out in when she's taunting him about, oh, did you think that you could hide what was really in your heart? When Ezra, in reference to his parents, like that part is almost like
what she was trying to
cold.
do at that point in time, and this is like in this part of the trial, right? It's about things that he's missed, things that is easier for him to overcome given everything that's happened to him. He's yet to have the deep conversation with Ekadana, because right now the way the character interaction between them is like, I'll win you over, which is normally what we assume of Subaru when he comes into contact with somebody. There's a point of, I'll win you over.
If you're winnable and if you're redeemable.
Well, most people have been. Most people have.
Well, I'm just saying, like, kind of like Naruto or any of those others, or Luffy even. Like, you come across the bad guy and they have some redeeming qualities. And
but he's done it for everybody that he's come across, except for the
evil people,
said villains,
like the worst people.
Which currently, given what she's doing, she's bad and she does bad things. But where we are in this episode, she hasn't done a lot of the bad things.
He keeps like surprising her and stuff, and I think that's also another reason.
But yeah, this is their interaction here is very interesting. Just because he's in a place of like just general acceptance. And it's strange to see that in him, because what this arc does is it gives you a sense of Subaru's confidence. A lot of what was instilled in him from Rim is carried here, and it's going to build to something really great. I hope they illustrate everything. I mean, there's a lot of parts that are missing. One notable thing that is missing from this episode is when Subaru wakes up from the trial, he leaves. In the book, they have a small scene where the Witch of Envy comes to see Ekadana. And she doesn't say much. She doesn't say anything this time.
Oh, they talk. They do talk. She's like,
well, she talks to her, but
it
I
took you long enough to get here. Like, they have a little bit of a conversation.
But I think they have more of a conversation like the next time they meet, which is after one of the tea parties or something like that. But anyway, and it was really intriguing and interesting at that point, because you're like, you're still trying to figure out this Witch of Envy thing. But anyway, back to the actual episodes. We can actually break that down instead of doing the speculation thing, because this is where I nerd out. I nerd out because it's very interesting when light novels are animated, because what the anime should do, for me at least, is illustrate the novel in a way that, trims away the fat, and shows the series for what it's worth. I think the first season of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon does a great job. The director's cut of everything and the Frozen Bond, the OVAs have done amazing to give us the full scope of what's going on in the light novel. This one is a little bit more difficult, but I also realized that it's been a while since we started arc 4. This arc is long, y'all. Like, and there's so much that happens. So he wakes up from the trial. He's next to Amelia. She's crying hysterically in her sleep. He wakes her up, holds her for a second. They both come out. They're greeted by Ram and Garfield, and I think Otto's outside as well. And they flash forward to, or not flash forward, but they go to the next location. Using my director terms, film terms, you know. I'm an expert.
Yeah.
I have a master's.
Really?
So they're now in Roswell's bedroom. Roswell's bedroom. That just sounds like alliteration, even though it's not. Anyway, they are having a conversation about everything that has happened, and Subaru is smart. He's able to put a lot of things together. And he begins to vent his frustrations to Roswell.
Now, keep in mind, Subaru went in here to get answers. He didn't just go in here to go off on this man. He actually had an objective. And I think that the back and forth of the scene as Icarus explains it, you'll see just how screwed up Roswell is, and also how manipulative, like how he like controls the conversation. So
if you listen to our conversations, this is the beginning of the Roswell is a bitch campaign.
I mean, we kind of had a feeling before, but this is what solidifies it, guys. After this, we were like,
this is just the beginning.
No,
we didn't get there yet.
I'm saying this is what like solidifies our initial suspicions that maybe we were right,
because there are so many different aspects of. Anyway, so basically they have a conversation. Subaru's like, why were you not there? You knew from the onset that entering Amelia into the royal selection would cause the witch cult to move. You knew that in doing that you should have been there to help. Why did you leave me by myself to do all of these things? Had you been there, I might not have lost
so many times and so many people. That's
times.
really what he's trying to say.
And Roswell says to him basically in the most smug way, I'm sorry for the comrades that we lost, or do you want me to apologize here? And it's like, no, I really want to punch you. Like, because you're not sincere about anything that you're saying right now. And there's just no remorse or anything in him. And he keeps going. Subaru's about to punch him. Ram catches his hand and he's like, does none of this upset you? He sacrificed you. And he also sacrificed Rim. And she was like, well, I don't know that person, which is another stab in Subaru's heart. Like, what are we doing? Like, why is this okay? And he's still upset. He's throwing a barrage of words at Roswell. And Roswell just basically says, the conversation is over for tonight. I've realized that nothing else can come of this. It is also at this point, well, I'm not even going to spoil it, but it's fine.
I mean, because you said that he organized all of this to happen.
That's not even. He said.
That's what he said. He said, I caused it. I arranged so I would not be there when the witch cult gets there because I arranged for all of this to happen.
Because I knew that you could do it. Which is, if you follow that sentence from your perspective, hold on. If you follow, we're gonna follow from where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
Not from where we are, because that'll be too much.
He said that too.
No, I know, but it's
I think you're right. He started with the faith in you thing.
He started with the faith in you thing, which makes it seem as though this is all about his faith in Subaru.
Lies.
Which it is.
Lies.
Which it is.
No.
Now he sprinkles in, I'm going to do everything to help Amelia, blah, blah, blah. He don't care about none of that. And it's just, you can tell he's just so smug with everything he says. And once they realize, like, okay, none of this is going to work, I guess I should leave. He leaves. He goes and sits next to Amelia, sits and holds her hand all through the night. She wakes up and she's like, did you stay? They have a cute back and forth between one another, and he's letting her know, hey, I'll be here for you. the same old Subaru rhetoric with her. They pass. One day goes by. She takes the trial again, fails, because at this point we know that the trial is about accepting your past. We don't know what it is that she can't accept, but we know that there's something that's going on with her.
And she is freaking out, guys. Like when he first goes in there to save her, she is so broken down.
And she calls out to Puck.
Yeah.
She says father, and she calls out to Puck, which is huge if you watch the Frozen Bond and understand that that's the name. Like he wanted her to call that, or wanted her to call him that. And when she finally does at the end, it's a big thing. So that's a huge aspect of all of this. She's coming to lean on Subaru, and Subaru is giving the trust and saying the trust that he has in her. His inherent issue that is always an issue is, Subaru is just seeing this from a surface point of it. He has to break beneath the surface, but he has to die a lot of times before he starts to break beneath the emotional surface of motivations, which is, I think, his biggest weakness in solving things more quickly. Now that's due to people, in their motives, intentions, and what they say to him, but still. So they have a lot of conversations. Louis' son comes in, but I forget what they called her. It's some other name.
Ryuzu,
something.
I think it is. Ryuzu.
And I don't know if it's like a fake name. I
maybe that's the actual name, and what we were given was wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. But either way, in the novels that we read, they called her Louis' son.
And I like Louis' son better.
And so she comes in and basically explains that if anybody were to leave the sanctuary, the half-blood people that are there, they're essentially dead. Their soul is still kept here, and they're not really able to leave. They're kind of like trying to figure some things out. At this point, everybody's kind of anxious. They're wanting Amelia to complete the trials, but they're kind of not feeling like people are divided. Ram gives him a warning that there are people who want to leave the sanctuary, and then there's a faction of people who do not. And the faction of people who do not will do anything that they can to attack and get at Amelia. So be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. Man, it's just like there's so much in this episode. Like I said, that's building some things, and I don't really know how I feel about them.
Why not?
Just because, like I said, I feel like I need to read again just to make sure that a lot of this stuff was clouded and covered in that way then.
Yeah, because it's really interesting. When we were watching the first two episodes, it was our first three episodes of this new season, I guess. It was very exciting. And actually, I think this might have been the fifth episode in this new season. So
there was 25. 4. That's why I was able to guess that it was 30.
Good job, babe. Anyway, so, but yeah, so the other ones, they were very exciting because it was setting up everything, and it was almost like feeding our anticipation of what to expect. But then and it's what you encounter anytime you go to see a movie made version of something you read, especially if whatever you read was maybe unofficial. So it's almost, it's giving us what we want, but at the same time, there are like little moments of disappointment. Like I really wanted to, I don't know if we're going to talk about this at the end. So I'll just,
but it's hard for us in a lot of ways because we have to think about this. What we remember most is figuring out all the puzzles.
Yeah.
At this point, we were way, like it was about a year, if not longer at this point that we even started reading. Like I was at another job, when we first started reading this arc. So anyway, so long story short, they ended up coming to the realization that they're going to take the villagers there back to the village and allow Amelia to be able to take the trials. Unbothered, not worrying about anything, because he's going to take care of the people, so that way they don't have to worry about, or Amelia doesn't have to worry about him. She has a moment where she's kind of concerned, and he's like, "Hey, I'll take care of that."
Yeah.
So they get a caravan of people. Garfield's going to take them to the gate, as they're riding there, he says to him, "Hey, you took the trials, didn't you?" And he's like, "There's no need to lie about it. I know you did it." And he's like, "Yeah. How'd you know?" He said, "Well, here's what I want to do. I would like for you to complete the trials. I don't think she can.
Yeah.
I don't think Amelia can do it. You know, she's had 2-3 different nights." And he's like, he says something about, it's one of the remarks about, you know, the past, like, who can really overcome their past kind of thing.
Exactly.
And it's a snide side comment. But as oft is the case, they don't show his face when he's saying this, so you don't know what he's feeling, you know, what emotion is he hiding or anything like that. So before they get to the barrier, he gives him back the blue necklace and says, "Hey, show this to Frederica. If she doesn't, you know, get it or understand or whatever." They get back to the village. They drop everybody off. The screen is already like in a red sunset tone, but you know, whenever it's like a red tone, much like the button color of Louis 0.5.
Trouble's
it's just
afoot.
Yeah, Trouble's okay, Sherlock.
Yes. There's trouble afoot.
Oh God, I'm gonna mute you, man.
It was better than what I mean. You could get it. Why? I'm trying.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to help you.
How?
Hater.
Yeah, whatever.
Moving on.
On moving. So they make
stepping
it back.
Forward.
Nah, that's definitely mute. What? Get out of here with your puns.
Oh, come on. It wasn't a pun.
It was a pun.
I guess it was.
Yeah. So he makes it back to the mansion and he's looking around and nobody's coming out and he's like, "Huh. That's strange." He starts to run. He's like, "Oh, Rim."
First of all, I want to point out something that may have eluded us if we had not known, but all the doors that he comes across are open. And that's what makes him turn around and say, "Wait a minute, where's Rim?" Because all the doors are open.
Because that's anyway.
You can talk about that.
So he's running to her, and then he trips. And in my mind, I was like, "Oh, he must have tripped over a body." And then he looks back, and his intestines are hanging from himself
once again.
And at this point, if you've been watching straight through, there's only one person who could have done this. And she stands over him and says, "You told me you were going to keep your bowels nice and warm for me."
Healthy.
Nice and healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
Warm too.
Whatever. I mean, they're in his
And
life.
you did. Well, they're not now.
No, they're not.
So it might be cold. Who knows? And Elsa's back, guys.
Woo.
And the episode ended.
Yes.
Like, I still remember reading this like, this bitch again?
No, and now I will say this again. We've gone through 3 arcs. Yes, we've seen the first season covers essentially all 3 arcs. So Elsa's like way in the very beginning. If you're just watching and not reading, it's like, oh, okay, well, she'll come back eventually. You do not expect her to come back
like
when
this.
she does and how she does. Like, what is she doing in this mansion? Why are all these doors open? Where is Beatrice? You already know the answer to that because the doors are open.
Well, you don't.
You do.
You don't.
I'm saying if you've been watching and everything and you understand how, remember in the beginning.
No.
Do you want to explain it?
What I'm saying to you is you're doing the thing where you impose, like you can't separate your own knowledge.
No. It's not that. It's literally visually there. Remember in the very first season, what Subaru does.
Wait.
I'm asking you if you want to explain it. I was going to explain it.
What I'm telling you, well, you know what? Go ahead. I'm just
going
to let you have it because you are excited to ruin it, but go ahead.
I don't want to ruin anything. Remember in the very beginning, you guys, in the first season, when Subaru was trying to find Beatrice, right? He was like, "Oh, I know what to do. I'm just going to keep opening doors. And at some point or another, I'm going to come across the door that belongs to hers." So like seeing this in this episode, like immediately, if you go back and watch it, you catch that it's like, wait a minute, why and how? What is going on? Why are these doors open? What is Elsa doing? what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that was the end. No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have the time to explain, but it's fine. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a B-side. Later.
I think it's amazing.
It's really great. But there's just like I don't really know how I feel about this episode, honestly. And I think it's because like a lot of what I think I'm more so ready to get further in to get to the things that I remember more clearly. Because these parts were frustrating. Because once the death starts, and it has, it just starts to drag in a drag in a depressing way. Like we're about to go through it. Like he started. Like it's not like they don't take their foot off the gas in terms of emotional impact. And then it's like we go from this into all the character development and everything else that they're going to go through with that. But I don't know. All in all, I'm still excited to see more of what they're going to do. I'm hoping that they shed some light on a couple more things, and I overall I enjoyed it. Do you? If I had to rate it, and I think I'll start doing that. I'll give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. What would you give it?
I guess I'd give it about the same, only because I'm salty about my favorite, the part I was looking forward to the most not being animated. So, yeah. I mean, it's not as important. I get it's fat. It could be trimmed, but I was just really, really excited to see it.
But it's, well, I guess it is because technically at that point it's not a big deal. It's more so like one of those things that as we were reading, we're like, oh,
on its merit alone and their ability to get through this information as quickly as they are, because like you said, it if we were reading it would drag in terms of the number of deaths and how many times he has to deal with this. But in this, like in the animated version, it's not gonna drag. They're gonna zoom through this thing, I think. So I'd give it an 8.
But I understand. Just like I said, I'm hoping for more. I hope they show us a little bit more, and I know that they will. They haven't let us down yet. But that is also the issue with light novels, because I think I heard a lot of complaints about Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon season 2, just because a lot of things that they skipped over, just randomly aside, like Wealth apparently confesses to Hephaestus.
Finally.
Amongst some other things that are going on in there. But they don't even really give you much on their relationship in the first season, I don't think. So, anyway.
It's implied.
Not in the way like that the novel implies it. I mean, it's more sweet things. Or even the way the game, Memoria Freeze, which you guys should download. It's an amazing game. I play it every day. Anyway, do your thing.
If you would like to get in touch with us, you can get at us on Twitter at Gray Area Anime 1. You can hit us up on Instagram or Facebook at Gray Area Anime. And you can always send us questions, comments, suggestions for other anime we can check out at grayareaanime@gmail.com.
We also got a Facebook.
I said Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, didn't seem like you did. But check out my reels.
So it didn't seem like it, and so
reels
you thought
are fun.
that.
I've had a good day doing those.
Shoe on the other foot here.
Yeah.
Wow.
They actually went together. It was funny. But anyway, we'll see y'all next time. Please be checking out the Teach Me Senpai episodes. We are revamping, reworking, growing, and being able to teach y'all a whole lot more. We'll see you next time. A 1 and a 2, and peace.